How's it going, guys? I'm Chris, your host for What's Hype Chicago. For my second guest, we have Romelo Saint James. Super excited to have him. Stoked. Thank you so much for your time.
You.
How would you describe yourself? Who are you?
Alright, so I describe myself as an artist, Renaissance man, from Chicago. I do a lot of stuff, can name them all, do it for a good amount of time, and then I just move on.
So how was it? How was your childhood? How was it growing up here?
It was pretty cool, I guess. As a child, I was mostly kept inside, to be honest. So I was mainly playing a lot of video games.
Your parents strict or what?
Yeah, I live with my mom. Growing up, she was super strict, wouldn't let me leave the crib at all. But so yeah, I was inside all the time playing PS2 mainly, all that, and watching a lot of WWE. Listen to a lot of music as well.
You told me your video games inspired you to make your music, right?
Yeah.
Your video games, TV shows.
Yeah, definitely. Because I watch like a lot of cartoons and then watch animes, and I also watch a lot of movies. And I always listen to the soundtrack because I feel like that's the main thing that like boosts the TV show. You know, you take the soundtrack away, it kind of sounds off-putting. You know, it helps you feel what the scene is trying to portray. So.
And then you told me that you started making music in 6th grade. How exactly did you start that?
So I had a friend whose name is James, and he was just killing it playing the guitar, and like everyone was just like on his dick, you know. I was just like, damn, that's my best friend, so I was like salty. So I said, fuck it, I need a guitar, you know. So it was basically off that, you know, I guess jealousy, if you will. So I got a guitar from like Walmart, cheap ass $20 one, and then I just started just strumming, going on YouTube, learning how to play some notes and stuff like that. So that was in 6th grade.
How was it? How was your high school?
High school was cool. I just did a lot of dumbass shit, just doing dumb stuff.
Where do you go to high school?
I went to Hubbard High School, which is in the southwest side. And yeah, I went to high school there for all 4 years.
Do you have supporters?
From high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're my main supporters.
Really?
At first, when I dropped my first tape, they were the ones. You know, a lot of people making fun of it, but then there's a lot of people that showed mad love.
You also had haters, though, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's because I was just like, I was always talking shit, so
yeah,
came with it.
And explain your first project. How did you start it? How did you do it?
So my first project was a beat tape. There we go. I remember the name like that. It's called Stolen Needs. So the reasoning behind the name was, in high school, like around junior year, I was really into beats and with Kanye, you know?
Yeah.
That was when I like really fell in love with Kanye and all his work. And I didn't know how to make beats at all. But in my computer class, there was a cart full of MacBooks that we never used. Never. Not the whole year, never was used. So I asked my teacher, I'm like, can I use a MacBook? Started fucking around GarageBand. And then there was like Thanksgiving break. And I was like, fuck, I still need to make music. So I just stole the MacBook. I just took it with me home, and I kept it there the whole year. No one noticed because no one used it. So that's why I call it Stolen Needs. And then every day I'll go home and I'll just make beats from sampling movies, soundtracks.
Do you still have the laptop?
No, I ended up giving it back. I didn't want to pay for it, you know.
Oh, okay.
Because he knew I had it, you know.
Oh, okay.
After a while, he was like, you still have it? Oh, yeah.
So it's just basically a compilation of like samples you worked on, right?
Yeah, definitely.
With Illinois legalizing marijuana, how do you feel about it?
It's about damn time, man. It's dope, man. I love it. It's I feel like it's gonna do wonders. In my opinion.
You've mentioned that you are inspired by drugs and it helps you do your music, right?
Mm-hmm. I was actually drug free my whole life until 18. I feel like I knew that if I'm gonna do this, I should just wait until I'm like old enough to make a conscious decision, you know. And so at 18, I smoked weed for the first time. And I was listening to Travis Scott's album, Birds in the Trap, and it just sounded like I've never heard anything like that before because I was high. And so I just thought, man, this is so dope. I started thinking I could hear certain things I didn't hear, which is true in my opinion, but yeah, drugs are... I always try to make my music to appeal to that audience as well.
So like, what's the craziest trip you've had while on drugs?
The craziest trip?
Yeah.
Recently, I would say. Probably like a couple months ago, I took an ecstasy pill, Tesla. and I was going to my friend's house. I was driving with my other friend as well, and we're driving past like a viaduct, and we see a bunch of cops there. It was like late, like 10, and someone had just tagged "fuck ICE," and so we're like, "Oh shit, just keep driving, right?" They followed us, they pulled us over, and like 10 cop cars just came out of nowhere, and 2 ICE agents, and they were just on my ass. I didn't have a license, and it was expired. So they were trying to tell me like, oh yeah, you're not documented, you know, just fucking with me because of my tattoo and all this extra stuff. And that was just freaking me out, you know, because I was in the peak of my high. So all the lights and the yelling was just like, oh, I was tweaking out.
How do you feel of like, because there's a downside to drugs as well. How do you feel about that in the music industry? Because there's artists that overdose, are addicted to it or stuff like that.
I know a lot of addicts, like growing up, like family members and stuff like that. So I was always aware of addiction, and I don't know. I guess since I always was aware of that, I always try to limit myself on things that are harmful, like pills and stuff like that.
So you just know your limit.
Yeah, I mean sometimes obviously you know you go overboard, you know, thinking you can handle it, but I never got to that point where I was dependent on any type of drug, just cigarettes.
Also, like, explain to me why your name is Romelo Saint James.
All right, cool. So my real name is Romelo Santiago, and the Romelo part comes from while in high school, because I was like really close with my computer teachers, and so they were just really on me, like you know, like if you have a bright future, like apply to colleges, and I was just anti-college. So I was trying to leave school, go home for the weekend, and my computer teacher's like, no, fill this out. So I was sloppy writing it, and then when the mail came in from the colleges, it just misspelled my name. I guess it was so sloppy. It said Romelo, and I was like, oh man, that's kind of cool. So that's where that's from. And then St. James, my dad told me that Santiago translates to St. James in English. So I just felt like that sounded cool together. So that's where I came from.
All right, cool. Also, you mentioned, well, I don't get this. You probably need to like explain this to the viewers. But what is Lightspeed 16?
Okay, so my last year of high school, I was like, I'm gonna drop a beat tape because I still wasn't rapping or singing. But I don't just want it to be instrumentals, because when I dropped the instrumental, it was cool. You know, people listened to it. But the number one complaint was, it's cool, bro, but I wish I could hear someone on it, you know? I didn't know any rappers, you know? Mm-hmm. So I went out of my way to find the people in my school that were rapping, and I met some people online, and I'm still close friends with all of them, and I just put them on my beats. And then Lightspeed, I was just trying to think of a cool name, to be honest. I was like, man, what sounds cool?
That's the crew's name?
No, it wasn't a crew, it was just the name of the tape.
Oh.
It was like, I Present Lightspeed 16, that was the name of it. At 16, it came out 2016.
From your songs LSD and Veteman's Freestyle, it seems like you have a lot of love for these Southside girls. So like, what's your like dream girl?
My dream girl?
Yeah.
My current girlfriend.
Oh, really?
She's my dream girl. She's just from the same neighborhood, from the same school I went to, you know?
Yeah.
She's super dope.
Tell me more about your project that you're working on, the Lakeshore Strangler.
Alright, so Lakeshore Strangler, because I'm a huge slasher fan. And slashers like Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, all that. And Chucky, I'm wearing Chucky. So I'm like really into the movies, and he's from Chicago, like in the movies. Like the first 2 films are filmed in Chicago. And, you know, it's a whole like lore behind it and everything, but he was a human before a doll. And he went by that name, Lakeshore Strangler. So I just felt like it was cool, you know, like just keeping everything Chicago based. And then, so yeah, Lakeshore Strangler, mostly gonna be me on the tape. And yeah, just Dean after stuff I'm going through.
You're still working on it, right?
Yeah, I'm still working on it. It's gonna drop in like a month in September, late September.
Alright, cool. What's your purpose when it comes to making music? Like your own purpose?
So my original purpose was, I wanted to make music because I just love music so much, and I wanted to see if I could make something that sounds good And at first, obviously, the beats were garbage, but then after a while, they were getting better and better. So I make music, honestly, to just for people to listen to and hopefully like, basically for fans and stuff like that, and for myself.
And you also want to help the community.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Because I'm doing planning a lot of stuff, and I have a T-shirt streetwear thing I'm coming out with. Where
Is
I want
it?
Yeah, this is part of it. It's a Chucky design, airbrush because Chicago and stuff like that. It's called Slashers Creek. So I want to end up doing like, because I'm a big fan of skating. So I want to do like skate contests, you know, like throw a little festival for like the weekend, maybe one day, help the kids out, get them to come and, you know, have a place to hang out and feel free.
Is that why because you grew up like that? Like,
yeah.
in need of that?
Yeah, growing up. So like I was never allowed out until high school. But high school I was always out, always going somewhere, seeing the city. And, you know, it was just like I was by myself, so I would just go places by myself. But when they had like little contests and festivals, I would always go and have a great time. And everyone had a great time, so I just want to repeat that.
Who are like your main role models when it comes to music or anything?
Music, Kanye, he's a great role model. Inspired me to make beats. Young Lean, fucking Young Lean, super heavy. Just because like his background and how he's from a different country. A lot of people, man. Chief Keef, just because of the fact that he blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis Scott, Young Thug, Lil Uzi, Lil Yachty. You know, I can go on and on and on. But I have a lot of influences and role models.
What are the craziest performances you've done in the past?
Alright, so
I saw you went to Texas.
Yeah.
Festival.
Yeah, I went to South by Southwest with my friend Diego over there. He has his own brand, Daigo puffer jackets, and so he was invited out there, and he, you know, graciously invited me to go with him. And when I went out there, I didn't actually perform at all out there. I was just with there for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we were out there for South by Southwest. But the craziest performance that I ever done was probably my Lightspeed performance, because I didn't think anyone was gonna come. I like rented out like a basement, and it like was packed. It was like for like 70 people, but like in a basement, that's a lot, you know. And it was filled up, and everyone knew the lyrics to the songs that we did, and I was just so shocked. It was a great night.
What's up? And you mentioned that you like to collaborate with many artists. Like,
yeah.
Who do you like collaborate with a lot?
I collaborate with, I try to look for people that are like within my area, or at least in Chicago. So I collaborate with, someone that I collaborate with the most is my friend Frank Lucas. That's his like rap name. He's like the first person I've ever hopped on a song where I rap. T-Jabs, it's another friend of mine. Motive, which is sitting right there. Engineer, producer, songwriter. And
so you basically entered the industry without knowing how to do anything, right?
No, hell no, I didn't know how to do a damn thing. Nothing at all.
And you just made your character and who you are, right?
Yeah, I was just like hell-bent, or whatever the phrase is. I'm just like doing something, you know?
Right, well, that is it for today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Anything you want to say or promote?
Yeah, definitely. Lakeshore Strangler, the mixtape's coming out end of September. Slashers Creek, which is my airbrush brand. Dropping t-shirts very soon. We're going to do more than just Chucky. We're going to do Freddy. We're going to do Ash, Evil Dead. We're going to do all that.
They're handmade, right?
Yeah, I get them done by an artist, and he hand makes them all. I want to shout out to everyone from the Southwest side, House of Knox. Shout out to my boy Frank Lucas. Shout out everybody. And yeah.
Alright, wait. But before we leave, I just want to do one last segment. I kind of do this to show some love to the city. What do you really love about the city? It could be anything, a person, place, memory, a thing, just anything.
The food.
The food?
Yeah,
really?
The food, because I went to California and there wasn't shit out there for me to eat. When I came back,
what do you eat here?
Paco's Tacos. Shout out Paco's Tacos, man.
Right,
47th and Pulaski.
I've heard great things about that place.
That place is fire.
Great. Alright, I'm gonna put everything on the description below. His info, my stuff. Until next time, What Type Chicago. I'm your host, Chris. Thank you so much, James Romelo. No, it's Romelo James Saint, right?
Romelo Saint James, yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.